It's interesting how, as I'm recording this, I got word that Microsoft is discontinuing the Xbox One. But what I'm not going to discontinue is making my video on this Xbox One S that my folks found. Although my confidence in playing Halo Infinite might be discontinued by the end of this video. Let's talk about this Xbox One S. Hey everybody, Blood Moon Bobby here. So yes, for once I am making a video on an Xbox console, in particular this Xbox One S that I've got right over here. The story goes is that my dad and sister often go to this local flea market. My dad goes there especially to check out the antiques that they got, and I get a call from my sister, who by the way draws a lot of the amazing artwork on this channel, and she tells me, hey, we found an N64 and an Xbox One S. What would you like us to take a look at? And even though I usually go with the Nintendo systems, I don't have a single Xbox system until now, so I asked them to check out the Xbox One S, and lo and behold, they got it, and that's the system that I got right over here. So how did this system turn out? Does it work? Well, I can tell you that it was in pretty decent condition. No, not exactly. From a functional perspective, it did turn on and play games initially, but the biggest problem was the cleanliness, especially the top of the system in particular, you know, where the holes are for the vents and things like that, were pretty filthy, and I had quite a bit of dirt and grit that you can see in this photograph I took of the system right around the time we got it on the first day. So in terms of cleanliness, not the best. I had to ask my sister to clean up the system. Took quite a few Q-tips, but at the end of the day, she was able to get the system to be clean. So I thank Penny for that. In terms of what else the system came with, basically came with the console, which by the way, I don't know if you saw, but it's a PUBG version of the Xbox One. As you could see on the top, it says PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Well, the system itself didn't really come with too much. It basically just came with the system and the controller, or I think it was like a controller from a third-party company, but it didn't work. So what I ended up doing was I actually pulled out a controller that I already have, and also because I wanted to test if it works with wireless controllers, I also bought a new Xbox wireless controller, which you could see right here. This is the this is Hyperkin's Xbox One controller. It's supposed to look like that of the OG Xbox, and you can see here it's a pretty big controller, but I actually do like using it, which I'm kind of surprised because I thought that the Xbox 360's controller was too big for me, and this is even bigger, but I actually like playing on this controller quite a bit. I played some Ridge Racer 6 on this, so it makes me wonder if this is really close to the original Xbox's controller. Maybe I'll try that system one of these days. And the more conventional controller for the system is the one I got here. This is a controller that I bought online, the Xbox wireless controller. I think it works for both Xbox One systems and the newer Xbox S and S systems. So I got it in blue since that's my sister's favorite color. We already have a red DualShock 4 for our PS4, and I do like this controller. I think the buttons have a much better feel than the original Xbox One's controller, especially the bumpers I think are much more comfortable, and I like the feel of the D-pad much more on this controller. So I think this one is definitely an improvement over the original Xbox One's controller. In terms of the games, the system itself actually came with quite a few games. When I opened the disk drive, I actually found it had a copy of Call of Duty Black Ops 2 in there. But when I went into the system, we actually found that there's quite a few digital downloads of a lot of the games. I'll show you all of the games here in this video. We saw loads of titles like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Halo 5, GTA 5, Grand Theft Auto 4, lots of other games. It's really like basically like a treasure chest full of the most famous games that were released on the Xbox One. They were left digitally on the system, and they do seem to work. I tried playing a couple of the games that were pre-installed with the system, and they do seem to work okay. I'll show some gameplay footage of the games I did manage to record. So we picked up copies of games like Dead Rising 3, Ridge Racer 6. I also got a copy of Injustice 2 on Blu-ray disc, and because quite a few people recommended this franchise on TikTok, I actually tried Halo Infinite for the very first time. It's actually the first time I ever played a Halo game, arguably the most famous Xbox franchise. And yeah, actually, even though I got my ass kicked a few times in the campaign, actually I actually found that it was a really approachable game. I would even go as far as to say, as somebody that's very used to Bethesda's shooters like Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, it was actually pretty easy for me to get into Halo, but it's just that I still have to practice that game quite a bit. I'm really glad that we finally have one of the Xbox consoles. Even though the Xbox One line may be on its way out, I still think that it is really awesome that we finally have an Xbox system to call our own, and it came with a whole bunch of games. And aside from initial cleanliness, it actually does work pretty well. So there you go. That's our $80 Xbox One S that my folks found at a local flea market. So let me know your thoughts down below. What are some of your favorite Xbox One games? And since the Xbox One does work with some OG Xbox and Xbox 360 games through their backwards compatibility program, let me know what are some of your favorite OG Xbox and Xbox 360 games, preferably the ones that will work on the Xbox One S. So leave all those thoughts down below, and until next time, this has been Blood Moon Bobby, and thank you all for watching. Hi everyone, thanks for watching this Blood Moon Bobby video. Like and share the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel to see more of my videos, and ring the bell to be notified about my latest uploads. Don't forget to follow me on social media for my latest opinions and video updates. I hope to see you next time.